Right. I'm supposed to introduce myself.
Yeah. We're recording.
This is all that I do and all that I love. For my fam, my sisters, and all my thugs. It's the rebel music that runs through my blood. Put it all on the line till I catch a slug.
Right. I'm supposed to introduce myself.
Yeah.
It's Bagel.
Much better. Yeah.
I thought I was going to lock it and stay inside.
What you do that? Oh, I didn't come. Lock it and come, man. Yeah. I'm going to play interview. Alright, I want to play, actually, I just remember what I'm trying to do. I want you to play your album. Have your stuff playing on there. And you just, I'll
In the
set
background.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll set it to thing.
This is all that I do and all that I love. For my fam, my sisters, and all my thugs. It's the rebel music that runs through my blood. All on the line till I catch a slug. This is all that I do and all that I love. For my fam.
Rolling.
Yeah, it's rolling.
Alright, cool. Alright, you want? Yeah.
So who am I?
Yeah, just I soon jump in with a question, but Steez,
Yeah.
the hardest working hip hop artist.
Yeah.
Who is Steez?
Who is 5Steez? 5Steez was an MC, was a hip hop artist, was a youth that just feel like I just love music and I just want to say something to it. And that's all it really is, you know? There's not much more to it than that, so simple as that. Yeah.
I might ask you some questions about all that you just said, or break it down.
Alright.
Love for music. Which female artist would you say has influenced your music? I mean, hip hop artists are usually.
I have to say, if it's anybody's Lauryn Hill, and I mean, I don't really think of the influence, but I mean, in terms of female artists, it's like Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu, Sade that I listen to, but in terms of what comes out in my music, it can only be a Lauryn Hill. I mean, I really rate her as a lyricist. You know, outside of her being a female, she's just dope. You know, so I mean,
Alright.
yeah.
What is hip hop as a genre of music?
Yeah.
We know dancehall, we know what is that. We know what is reggae, we know what is jazz. Somehow we don't know what is hip hop.
Yeah, what is hip hop? Is a question that right now hip hop is like, that is a question mark. There's so many doubts and all these questions. But generally, hip hop is, I like to describe it as a voice of the voiceless, is a genre of music that came about in the Bronx like back in the 70s through a man named DJ Kool Herc and other DJs. And DJ Kool Herc was a Jamaican that basically carried the local sound system culture, set up there, playing out, having the black parties, and just people just started celebrating the music, like whatever music was being played, whatever was popular at the time. And naturally, you have a DJ playing music, you have MCs getting on the mic, and just like we have DJs toasting or whatever, same thing, you know? So hip hop just became the music at the time, you know, for those people, but it spread worldwide, so it's really a global genre and culture, and it is the youth culture, the most popular youth music, you know, so yeah, I mean, just the voice of the voiceless, that's what it should be, even though what's in the media is really not quite that, but it's a wide variety of the, not only the black experience, you know, so
I like when you said the voice of the voiceless.
Yeah.
What are you using hip hop to say?
Well, I'm using it to tell my story, like even in the song in the background, slaving on the plantation, that's my story, you know? and just talking about Kingston, about Jamaica, because every rapper came up talking about where they're from. Like Nas talking about Queensbridge, people talking about Brooklyn, New York and a whole, or the West Coast, South, like that's like a given for a rapper. You need to represent where you're from. So I'm trying to tell a story that has never really been told like this, you know what I'm saying, or in a genre like this. So that's what it is.
That's interesting. I didn't know that it was a kind of feature of hip hop for the artist to say, to talk, to sing about where they're from. I've never
Well,
heard
yeah, that is,
before.
yeah, if you pay attention to it, then yeah, I mean, you have to be talking about your environment, you know? It has to be reflecting where you're from.
Is hip hop like poetry? Is your lyrics like poetry?
Definitely, I think hip hop is one of the most, hip hop lyricism is one of the most serious literary arts out of all forms of songwriting. And when you think about when you really pay attention to the lyricism of even like a Biggie, a Pac, a Nas, the intricacy, you know, or even something like a Rakim, you know, they're countless, like it's really like an elevated art where there's just this strong emphasis on the creativity, the originality, you know, the rhyme schemes, the metaphors, the similes, all sorts of wordplay, and it's just like, it's like a sport, and it's like we compete at it, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a different type of arena.
Can you give us give me an example of that lyricism that you talk about? In terms of your own music.
My own music.
Yeah, like take one of your songs and, you know what I mean?
Alright, well I will draw for yeah, nigga man, just off for the sound bro.
Alright.
Could you turn it up a bit? So
but I want you to say it, you know.
I'll get play it so they hear it and so I can
okay.
Niggas can't see power, that's my logo. For God's sake, I give a scar face to Manolo. The beat nigga spit a punch. This the dojo, label contracts, the vendor clause, ho ho. You can't get it. This the dojo, label contracts, the vendor clause, ho ho.
Alright. So I said niggas can't see 5 unless it's my logo, right?
Niggas can't see 5
unless it's my logo.
Okay.
I'm saying they can't see me. They can't see me on the microphone. Like they can't fuck with me, right?
Oh.
Unless it's my logo. They can only see my logo, but they can't see me on the mic.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
What I say after that? Niggas can't see 5 unless it's my logo. For God's sake, I give a Scarface to Manolo.
Okay, what does that mean?
Alright, you watch Scarface, right?
Yeah.
You know Manolo, right?
No. I don't remember. Money,
right? The right hand man. That was with his sister Gina.
Yeah.
Alright, so Scarface is like, when watching the movies, like Scarface is the guy with the scar. Manolo is like the pretty boy. So I was saying, yo, I'll fuck that nigga up too. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah.
Okay.
So that's alright. So what's after that? Let's see.
I like this real one. I've never.
Niggas can't see power unless it's my logo. For God's sake, I give a scar face to Manolo. The beat nigga spit a punch. This the dojo.
So the beat kick. Is it with the beat I kick in?
Yeah.
I spit some punchlines. It has to be the dojo.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's immense.
Alright.
You know, so it's just shit talk, but it's just wordplay. You know, it's just.
So that's facts of vendor clause, ho ho.
Labor contracts and vendor clause, ho ho. You know, Santa Claus. It's just, you know what I mean?
Can't get me, give me my percentage. I walk black Bentleys without having to pen it. I'm winning the pennant, past the big and it's round. Lock down the town and bring the things around, yo. Jamaican rappers, bringing that dog force back. The world and still walk on. All my niggas with it. I walk black Bentleys without having to pen it. Give me my percentage. I walk black Bentleys without having.
Alright, so I say, give me my percentage. I'm saying, alright, labels they can't really. It don't make sense. Cause I need my percentage. I need to have ownership.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm saying, yo, I want black Bentleys without having to rent it. But most of in the videos, all the stuff with jewelry is rented. So I'm saying, if I'm getting that After to bite.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, alright, boom.
I'm winning the pennant, pass the ring and it's round.
I'm winning the pennant, the ring, the crown, everything. Like, give me every accolade. You understand? Give me the champion belt, everything.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That hip hop, like it had so much. I mean, you kind of can hear some of the.
Well, because it depends on who you're listening to.
Like you brought, I think about every line of couple different ideas.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, in it. That's amazing.
But a lot of rappers, if it's mainstream, you won't be hearing that. But this is the art of it. That just, you know.
Cool.
So, yeah, let's continue.
Downtown, bring the things around, yo. Jamaican rappers, bringing that dark horse, matching every girl in the world and still walk more. All my niggas raw, lions in the jungle, pumping weight and keep an eye on for the muscle.
Alright, I said that, what I say? When I say, yo, all my niggas roar, lions in this jungle, right? Yeah, that sounds like it makes sense.
Right?
Pumping weight and keeping iron for the muscle. Like weight, like drugs.
Pumping drugs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Certain affiliations, I mean, to be honest, that's what they do. And then keeping iron for the muscle, iron. You know what I'm saying? The muscle, the strength in the street.
Whoa.
You understand? But then, listen to what I said after though.
The key to the studio, bombing is my hustle. Undercover and keep an eye for the muscle. I got a key to the studio, bombing is my hustle.
But I have a key. Not a key of coke, but a key to the studio. Rhyming is my hustle.
You have a key to the studio.
Instead of a kilo.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, boom. Let's go.
I got a key to the studio, bombing is my hustle. Undercover ladder, climbing was a struggle, so I...
On the carpet ladder climbing was a struggle. I mean, it was, you know.
Outdoor, let the boss know that I'm not sore. Nobody my certain eye, just watch how you talk. I took the lower CEO out the window. I bet he hit the ground before he even say no. The crowd go, hey ho, and I'm...
So yeah, hopped off, you know what I mean? Wanted to kill the CEO of a major company, said fuck it, I was gonna rap.
I bet he hit the ground before he even say no. The crowd go, hey ho, when I'm at the stage show. So let me lay low, nigga, I don't play around. I can spray the pound, but I'ma lay this down. I got the greatest style, and if you never knew, well now you know. Plus they call this a sour blow. Or you make up your face when I spit out a cold. They say, God, nigga, back out. I can spray the pound, but I'ma lay this down. I got...
So yeah, I decided to lay low, not hurt anybody, leave my job, focus on the music.
Play the style, and if you never knew, well now you know. Plus they call this a sour blow. Or you make up your face when I spit out a cold. They say, God, nigga, back out.
So that's one example, just in one verse where I do it in subtle ways. Like it's not so obvious that
I would have to say that is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, well,
like
maybe.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
this music contained like, so you're telling a story. You have
Yeah, in it I'm sort of telling a story here and there. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
The structure, the whole bunch of different ideas, all of that. I didn't know all of that was in there. Do you have the lyrics?
In fact, yeah, I have the lyrics on Bandcamp, so if you go to the Bandcamp, you can see the lyrics.
And the lyrics will come with the album. I don't need the lyrics.
I feel like maybe it should be done. You know, that just mean a bigger package.
The people normally understand the music like that though, so when you just broke it down or whatever, but you feel like them listen to more of the rhythm and the thing and the familiarity.
I think some people get it. Like I don't think you guys would normally get it fully.
We
Unless you probably listen to it over and over.
So why is that?
If you listen to a lot of hip hop, because as you say, you never really pick up on stuff like this before.
Yeah,
you
like you can hear it in what is our rhythm. So I didn't pick up on the ideas in it, but I pick up on probably like the flow.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, you have to pay attention. It's really about what's being said. Like hip hop is really about what's being said. and how you're saying it, how you're putting it together.
Do you feel like
You
if
know?
more Jamaicans, for example, you're a Jamaican hip hop artist, would you describe yourself as that?
Definitely.
Alright. So you feel like if more Jamaicans understood that about hip hop, the art and would they want to listen to it more? Would they have more respect for it?
I think so, yeah. I think if you look at music like the way we look at music, whatever genre you're doing, you're bound to just elevate it. Because even like I talk about it being an art, like even me and some of my friends lament that is like it hasn't elevated past the state it was at like in '98 in terms of the level of the lyricism, like when they had people like Eminem, Big Pun, Cannibals, like there are rappers after that are ill but just they haven't fully surpassed and like advanced a leap. You know what I mean? In terms of the structure and the complexity or whatever, but I mean it's getting there.
Is it?
But it's something like that. It's one of those things where we can get very it's what you call a hype art. That's exactly what it is. But I feel like enough people don't realize it because one is black youth and a lot of the stories are stuff that you might not want to hear. But it's their reality or what they feel they should be talking about. So that's why people might look down upon it, but I feel like it's up there with the work of Shakespeare, stuff like that. Whatever literary work,
If
the
let
Nas,
me
all
ask
the
you,
greatest, up there with it.
you can continue to play it on the I just press play, man.
Let's see. Oh yeah, for real. Turn it.
Yeah.
But that's the main song that's from the sample that have that type of wordplay or whatever.
Okay.
Other songs are more, I guess, content based.
Content based.
Yeah, like just more about a subject or a story, you know.
I was gonna ask you in terms of you're talking about the art, it being an art and being like up there, like Shakespeare and stuff. And I want to know if your friends, other artists, local artists, really have you moved it to a level where we can understand it like that?
What do you mean we can understand like that? You need to
In
see
terms
it.
of recognizing that it's an art. So when I think of a hip hop artist
Yeah.
in Jamaica, yeah, you can rhyme like in a certain way. That's how you sing. It's about your style of singing. You know what I mean? I know you're talking about the lyrics, the construction and all of that. So when you present yourself as a hip hop artist and your other fellow hip hop artists, are you trying to push that idea that this is what it is?
Oh, definitely. Like when I think about all the hip hop artists right now that kind of doing them thing, making some good music and whatever, all of them are definitely about the art in some way. They might be going in different directions, different songs, different styles, different content, but when you look at the work, there's an art form, where you might be seeing certain type of, they have an emphasis on trying to have a complex rhyme scheme or using multisyllabic rhymes, or they're trying to go for certain punchlines or whatever. So there's always, all the rappers right now that doing something, all of them have something about them that there's an art form to what they're doing. It's not just rhyming words, just randomly. Even if it might sound like some random shit that they're talking about, there's still some logic to how they're putting it together and whatever. It's not as simple as you might seem if you do really pay attention.
Cool. Alright. So, Steez, your album, War for Peace. I remember asking you, what do you mean, War for Peace? Why? What does that mean?
This verse is war for peace. It's just war for peace is life. It's a life, it's a struggle, it's a battle, all of these things.
You don't believe it can be anything else. It's a war for.
Yeah, I mean we're all looking for peace. And we all look for it in different ways. We're all different individuals. We're through different phases. I mean, we're not the same, but there are a lot of things that we have in common. You know, we share a lot of similar life experiences, and that's one of the things that I want to capture on this album. I was pretty much telling my story to some extent. Stories of other people that I felt needed to be told, or stories that I felt were relevant to people I know, whatever. And as I say, it's really about thriving from the struggle, you know? It's difficult going for whatever you want or trying to get wherever you want to be. Simple things in life, love, peace, happiness, it's not as simple as it sounds. So that's what the album is really about. But it's just from my perspective, and that's all it is.
Yeah. How did you choose the people who work on the album with you? Producers, you know, singers, other rappers?
How did I choose the people that worked?
Yeah.
Alright. Two of them, Damien, who produced that song I was playing before, Yard Nigga Rap. He also produced 3 other songs on the album. So basically he produced about a quarter of the album there. 13 tracks on the album, he produced 4. Damien, who really we normally call Satan, and very much call him Satan very comfortably. And that's just his alias that everyone calls him.
What?
Because his name is Damien and they just start calling him Satan.
Okay.
And it's not a good look when you have your name associated with Satan, like on the internet and shit like that, so we have to start calling Damien. So Damien is one of the, in my mind, one of the best hip hop producers out there. And there's another producer that played Slave on the Plantation, Instincts. Both of them, to me, they're like, I call them the beat god. So they're like God and Satan. They're just boom. You see me? So Instincts did 3 tracks on the album, and he's also featured on the album as a rapper.
Okay.
And then the other tracks kind of that came about. Each other track is produced by. There's 6 other tracks left on the album, and each of them is produced by their own beat maker. So it's not like anybody else is doing one beat.
Sorry. What's that process like making the album? Like you have 6 people, 6 tracks, and you have 2 people you know you want to produce them, and then.
Alright.
Yeah, how?
I can't ever like the way this comes together is like each song came together differently, and that's what's crazy about it. What I knew was I wanted Instincts and I wanted Damien. Like that was from the jump. I was like, yo, I'm doing this album, I need them to be doing like half at least. And that's pretty much what I got done. They did just about half. They did half, 7 out of 13, that's a little over half. So the rest of the tracks now came from different producers that over time I built relationships with or just said stuff. So Growing Pains, which you heard with Shaq, that was produced by David Kennedy, aka Darwin. And I met him through Kabaka, who said, yo, I know this producer, whatever, you should link up with him. And I got that beat from, I think maybe a CD that he gave Kabaka. And I got in contact with him and told him, yo, I got this beat, I want to have something that I think can work on it. And he was like, yeah, go ahead. So from there we started working on that track. And it was an interesting process with him. He's an elder dude, you know, he's big engineering and producing for a lot of artists, just big artists, you know, Heavy D, Mary J. Blige, whoever. And he just had like a wealth of knowledge, so I learned a lot from him. Just in the time that we spent working and all of that. Other tracks, like, this one, Blazing. This one was produced by Kabaka himself, but also Sawandi, who also played some of the phrases and did the dub, you know? So now, the track that was before this on the sampler, Wanna Be Free, that was produced by DJ Kingston from France. And
I like all of them, but I like that one. I want you to tell me, I want you to tell me about King Flow. I mean, I like all of them. I want to know what other producers.
How do you end up on a track with somebody from France?
Alright, that's funny because the DJ that did the cuts on the hook is from Spain. But let me tell you what happened. It's just all the internet. So this guy DJ King Flow, I'm not even sure how he ended up on my Facebook or whatever, but he was probably maybe a mutual friend of some other DJ or artist that I know or whatever. So I ended up sending him some music and he put, I think, Growing Pains on one of his mixtapes. And I know that he was feeling the music because normally he would charge an artist to get on his mixtape. And he was just throwing on my music. And I think one day he just reached out to me and said, yo, do you want a beat? And he just sent me this beat and I was just kind of stuck for a while, like, what do I do with it? But then I had this song that me and Norman, who's the other rapper on it, we had written these verses, pretty much did a song to another beat. But we decided that we weren't going with that beat again. And then we just said, alright, we're going to use this beat because it sounds so good and just what we're doing works. So we did our verses, we even did a hook, but then when King Flow heard it, he was like, yo, I'm just going to let my boy DJ Bobby Bob from Spain do the hook. So he just did it and it just sounded good and just felt classic and just perfect. Just left it as it was and that was it.
Yeah. I like the feel of that one. I think it's distinctive. The other track, the number 6 track, also distinctive in terms of the combination with the dub right there. Yeah. I think it gives it a nice vibe. So the influence for the music on the album, where did that come from? The other tracks have their own feel.
Yeah.
What kind of feel were you going from
on the album? I just want it knocked, just like a classic hip hop album, just your head just supposed to be nodding the whole time, And I just wanted it to feel rich in music, So a lot of the beats they use sample all sorts of stuff. So different genres, stuff from the 70s, all sorts of stuff, and just chop up samples, flip them in different ways. So everything is musical.
Everything is music.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of soul in the album, just with the way it sounds, the type of sounds that we draw from the sampling,
Yeah, I mean, I noticed, I think, I must say this is probably the first time I'm listening to the album in this way. Like I've heard this one before, I've heard Kabakas, I've heard other people's stuff, but this is the first time, and I can hear, I mean, I can see the effort and I can hear the musical, taste and the art that you're trying to develop. So, respect for that. Give me 4 words that you would use to describe the album to somebody.
4 words.
4 words, 3 words.
Alright, first word, easiest word is real. Second word I would say is Kingston.
Real Kingston.
I would say Kingston.
Okay.
Third word I'd say is I kind of say that still. It's kind of like a guide.
Guide.
It's kind of like a guide. It's a guide through the wars, a guide towards peace. I try to, in the way I put the album together, when you actually hear the complete album, when you really look at the content and the themes and how it's going and where the story is at in terms of my own life and whatever and everything, it's kind of like that. With knowledge yourself, you can do anything. I think that's the real message behind War for Peace.
With knowledge for self, you can
Knowledge
do
of
this.
self, you can do anything. That's the real message, and that's the real guide to peace. You see me? That's my meds, and it isn't said quite explicitly on the album, but if you really pre-war go on and really soak it up,
Knowledge
that's
for self. Knowledge of self.
that's what I'm trying to show you.
That's a real powerful message. And yeah, I'm glad that you shared that with us. I just want to ask you to do probably one more thing. I mean, I don't have any more. You have any more?
Question.
Yeah.
You said that hip hop is kind of, you described it as a voice for the voiceless. And, you know, you described the album as Kingston. So, you know, how the Kingston means so, there's so many different Kingstons in Kingston.
Very true.
How did you go about representing the voiceless or being true to that theme of it being the voice for the voiceless? How did you deal with that?
Alright, I have a verse to play. The second verse and Yard Nigga Rap. Could you turn it?
Check it. Y'all niggas back on y'all niggas back. Y'all niggas back. Y'all niggas back. Y'all niggas back on y'all niggas back. Y'all niggas back. Y'all niggas back. Y'all back on y'all. I was raised in the city of kings on the spot. I see some of the prettiest things on my block. Sports cars, gorgeous women. See how large they living. Shit is hard in Kingston, so I'm on my grind. Everybody get the time to shine and shoot his mind. People say, who that's a ride? It's a y'all do that, so hard, true that. It's a J.A. You could go America, yo. What is looking for? They were broken Jesus, even if you spoke in reaper. Plus in Jamaica, we get more for cheaper. Land of the sunshine, trees and no water. Yours beach by the border. They keeping the order. The police can't do shit when they come they bust their guns and kill innocent sons. Politicians sell drugs, some steal money. Where is the parliament looking real funny? They made the number because the streets hungry. So am I. Paper, they can't keep from me. I'm pursuing this music with a crew of producers. Keep moving and grooving, bopping and locking, popping and locking, rocking and popping, working hard in the studio like I'm chopping the cotton. But I'm no slave. Plus I own my masters. I need my cash faster. I shouldn't have to ask you. This ain't y'all niggas back. This ain't y'all niggas jack. This ain't y'all niggas back. All y'all niggas back. This ain't y'all niggas.
Yeah. Okay, so that's just one verse where I'm really talking about stuff going on in Kingston, you know. And I think in rebel music I also address some of that.
You have a nice line in there. It's the land of, is it sun and
Sunshine,
and no water?
trees and no water.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's the political side of it. Where
Yeah.
people don't have access to water.
Exactly.
Okay.
You know, so
It's this. Steez. For the streets. And all the corporate streets. What they needed to survive, 9 to 5. Anytime for hustle, whatever. Listen. Let's go. Yeah, I'm just slaving on the plantation. See all the money that the boss man making. I don't wanna be there, yo, I can't take it. Sometimes it feel like eternal damnation, but I'm right here slaving on the plantation. Can't afford to have my farm and my land taken. I woke up from the dream that I had made it. How did I get here? Must be bad placement, but I'm right here. Another day again, the same old ish. Going to work, I hope the day go quick. And sitting in the traffic in the morning, still yawning. Headed to the office, feeling like I miss my calling. There's 100 things that I better do, like I catch my crew on the edge passing through. Yeah, I need a ski to get clean, but don't have a clue. I want a few million somewhere, stash food. Putting this on backwards move. If I got no other means to make some better cream and pursue my dreams, so I'm stuck here, bored, unhappy. Should've known from the interview they gon' trap me. And what was the point of my college education if I'm here and the knowledge getting wasted? taking orders, running around like a chump. So close to leaving till I get my check and the month that I'm slaving on the plantation. Seeing all the money that the boss man making. I don't wanna be here, yo, I can't take it. Sometimes I feel like it's all a damnation, but I'm right here slaving on the plantation. Can't afford to have my car and my land taken. I woke up from the dream that I had made it. How did I get here? Must be bad placement, but I'm right here. Money has to be made. We all slaves to the cash. Some get it slow and others get it fast. You fortunate if you're born with it. Cause I know people that work hard for it just to pay the student loan. All the rent, all the mortgage for the US home. Pay bills, raise kids, buy food and clothes. It's all about filling pockets on the street in the office. Whether you dropped out or went to college, you're all the same, cause nobody wanna do it straight. As for me, always wanted just to use my gift. Spit some rhymes and get up in the music biz. People try to tell me that's a foolish wish. Like, how will I survive? But I can't let my dreams die on this 9 to 5, so I gotta try. I'd rather fall flat in my face if I don't make it. Until then, yo, I'm here where I hate it. I'm just slaving on the